ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुदस्तुन्यन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्. So in the last session we discussed one part of this Shankaracharya's commentary. Tatra evam sati dharma dharmopachayat ishtanishta janma sukha dukkha samprapti lakshanaha samsaraha anuparataha bhavati ityataha samsara bija bhudo shokamoho. So the Bhashya says this cyclic rotation of birth, life, death and rebirth, this endless wheel of cyclic rotation goes on continuously without a stop, caused by shoka and moha, manasastapaha and viveka. So when we are grief-stricken, we lose our power of discrimination, our discriminative faculty, or discerning faculty, and that causes moha, viveka bhava. So caused by this cyclic rotation, we go on rotating along with the wheel, never coming out of it. There are a few fortunate souls who can look beyond today, beyond what is visible right now before our eyes, before the present, who can think about the meaning of human life, human existence. What's the purpose of human life? Whether life is just a journey beginning with birth and ending with death, when the dead body is pushed through the tube in the crematorium, everything comes to an end. But Vedanta says life has got a higher meaning. Death is not a full stop, it is not the end of the journey. Death is only a comma or a semicolon. So long as we are moving forward, propelled by the shoka and moha, along with this rotating wheel of samsara, the life continues. Dehinosmin yatha dekhe kaumaram yavvanam jara tatha dehantara praptihi dhirastatra namukhiri. Lord Krishna says in the second chapter. So asmin dehe, in this body, kaumaram yavvanam jara, maybe birth, infancy, childhood, boyhood, youth, old age and death, and then again rebirth. But this affects only the human body. Within this human body there is a soul which is not affected by any of these changes. So Bhashya says this is caused by shoka and moha. And when does this cycle come to an end? Tayoscha sarva karma sannyasa purvakat atmajnanat na anyataha nivrittihi. Tayoscha means shoka moha yoho. The shoka and moha come to an end when we get atmajnanam. And before atmajnanam, we have to go through the process of sarva karma phalatyaga and chitta shuddhi. When this happens, this rotating wheel comes to an end, we realize the fact we have something much higher than this body-mind complex. We are something far beyond this body which is subjected to these changes. Jayade, asti, vardhade, viparinamade, apakshiyade, vinasyati. Sadvikara, 6 changes. Birth, existence, growth, evolution, decay and death or disappearance. These 6 changes affect only the body. The Atman is not affected by these changes. When we realize that we are something beyond these body-mind complex which is affected by the 6 changes, we are the Atman, the omnipresent, immanent, transcendental reality, then this cycle comes to an end. And apart from this, there is no other way to get out of this way of samsara. Na anyataha nivrittihi atmajnanat na anyataha nivrittihi idi tat upadidikshuphu sarvalokanugrahartham arjunam nimittikritya aha Bhagavan Vasudevaha ashocyan iti. Such an introduction to the 11th verse of the 2nd chapter, which is really the beginning of Shankaracharya's commentary. So Lord Krishna wants to teach the world this truth, that the only way out of this rotating wheel of cyclic existence is Atmajnanam, and this he teaches the humanity through Arjuna. Arjuna is just an instrument. Arjuna nimitti kritya. Arjuna is only nimitta, only an instrument. Now, how does this work at the individual level? See, it is called karma vritti samskara chakram. We do different types of work. We engage in different kinds of activities depending upon the type of karmas, the type of tendencies, the type of samskaras, vasanas that we have accumulated in previous life, which has caused the embodiment, which is called prarabdha karma. Now this prarabdha karma, though it's the cause of the present birth, life and embodiment, need not necessarily a tyrant. Karma is not a tyrant. Karma doesn't imply any kind of predeterminism. We can come out of karma if we try. It's like an arrow that is left the bow has to exhaust its velocity and momentum. It need not necessarily hit the target. If a strong wind blows, then the flight of the arrow may be deflected and its velocity or momentum comes to an end. Similarly, when we do spiritual sadhanas, when we do spiritual practices like meditation, prayer, reading scriptures, contemplation and so on, we can quicken the process of our own evolution. Or if we take refuge in God, that can expedite our evolution. If a strong wind blows, the arrow's momentum is exhausted. It falls down. The arrow need not hit the target. So very often this karma is misinterpreted, very sadly, as a kind of tyrant, a dictator, a kind of predeterministic philosophy. It is not so. Karma is not a tyrant. In fact, the law of karma implies that we can build our own destiny if we strive through our own spiritual practices. If we don't do that, then we go on rotating. Every karma produces a vritti, a residual effect, and that becomes a samskara, which again becomes a vasana, which prompts us to do certain kinds of activities, which again accumulate vrittis, samskaras and vasanas. Like that, the rotating wheel goes on. If we do not try to think beyond the present, if we do not think of the fundamental essential meaning of human life and existence, This is possible only for a few fortunate souls. Lord Krishna himself says in the Gita, Sahasranam Manusheshu Kaschit Yadadi Siddhayi Yadadamapi Siddhanam Kaschit Mam Veti Tattutaka. Of the thousands, maybe among millions in today's context, only just a handful, a few, will have the good fortune to look beyond the present and to think of the ultimate destiny and meaning and relevance of human existence and life. And they try to come out of this veil. They can do that by first converting their normal activities into karma yoga. So karma can or should become karma yoga. An action which we normally do with a definite desire in mind to fulfill our desires can be turned into a spiritual sadhana when that karma becomes karma yoga. When the result of our actions are diverted towards God or towards the welfare of humanity, lokanugraha, or Ishwararpana Buddhi as an offering to God, then the same karma which actually causes this endless cycle can become a way out of this cycle. It can help us to come out of this endless wheel, the cyclic wheel, the rotating wheel of samsara. And that is possible first by the practice of niskama karma, by converting every action into an offering to God, every thought as a meditation, every word as a sacred mantra, whole secular activities getting spiritualized. Then what happens? It becomes this karma karma, and then it leads to sarva karma sannyasa. Literally, in modern context, it should mean sarva karma phala sannyasa, not sarva karma sannyasa. Because Lord Krishna will tell you later that a person who deliberately tries to withdraw from all activities without the ability, without and before attaining the ability to restrain the mind is a mithyachara. Sarvendriyani karmendriyani samyamya ye aste manasa smaran indriyartha vimudhatma mithyachara ka sauchyati. So karmendriyani samyamya ye aste manasa smaran indriyarthan. There are people who pretend to be practitioners of contemplation, but mentally they will be always dreaming of various material pleasures. Apparently, outwardly, they withdraw themselves from all physical activities. So karmendriyani samyamya. But manasa indriyathan smaran naste. Mentally they are always contemplating or dreaming of material enjoyments and different material goals. Such people are hypocrites, mithyachara. So the real yogi is one is indriyani manasa niyamya arabhati arjuna karmendri karma yogam asaktasya vishishyate. The real yogi is one who restrains his mind through non-attachment or detachment towards the results of our actions. But indriyahi, but through the senses, they always get engaged, they engage in different duties and responsibilities without any attachment, without any desire for the fruits or results of their actions. Offering all the results of their actions as to the feet of God or for the good of humanity. And if this goes on, one day they get established in niskama karma, and that will help them to attain chitta shuddhi or sattva shuddhi, and that will take us to jnana prapti and moksha. In this context, Bhashyakara introduces some very important philosophical trends, thought systems of his times. Now, as I mentioned earlier, every interpretation, every commentary will have the following elements. Padachedu, Padarthokti, Vigraho Vakya Yojana, Akshepascha Samadhanam, Vyakhyanam, Shadvitham, Smrutam. So every commentary, traditional commentary, will have 6 important elements. So one is Padachedu, Padarthokti. So a commentator will do Padacheda, splitting of words, then he will explain the meaning of Padarthas, words, then he will put in prose order, and then after all these, one important process begins. There are schools of philosophy which may not fully agree with the views of Bhashyakara. So they may raise certain objections. Or Bhashyakara himself wants to establish Advaita by projecting some of the prevailing contrary views, Purvapaksha or Akshepa. And then he gives a reply and tries to establish Siddhanta. So Akshepascha Samadhanam, Vyakhyanam Shadvitham Smrutam. So in the next sentence, the Bhashyakara is introducing a Purvapaksha. Here the Purvapakshins, the opposing philosophers, the opponents, belong to one school of thought which was prominent at that time. It is called Jnana Karma Samuccayavada. So they believed in a kind of blend or synthesis of Atma Jnana and ritualistic karma. In a way, it is a midway between cutthroat ritualists like Mimamsakas and Advaita Vedanta. So altogether there were 3 well-known philosophers belonging to this school. The most prominent among them was Bhartruprapancha, who is supposed to have written a commentary on Bhagavad Gita, trying to establish his view that Jnana Karma Samuccayavada, that means a blend of ritualism and Atma Jnanam, is the central theme of Bhagavad Gita. That's a means for moksha, that's the only path for liberation. That was his view. Another philosopher belonging to the same school was Brahmadatta. And the third philosopher was Mandana, who wrote Brahma Siddhi. So Sureshwaracharya, one of the disciples of Shankaracharya, who wrote his famous commentary on Shankaracharya's Brihadaranya Upanishad Bhashyam, Brihadaranya Upanishad Bhashya Vartikam, and also the Nishkarmi Siddhi, tries to bring forth their views. Many of their original works are no more available, especially the works of Bhartruprapancha and Brahmadatta are really not available at present. So we get a clear view of their system of philosophy, their views, only from the works of Bhashyakara. Of course, Sri Shankaracharya tries to refute the views of Bhartruprapancha in his Brahmasutra Bhashya, Avirodhadhyaya, 2nd chapter, and also from the works of Sureshwara like Bhashya Vartikam and Brihadaranya Upanishad Bhashya Vartikam and Nishkarmi Siddhi. So the Bhashya begins with this Purvapaksha, the opponent's view. Tatra kejit ahu sarva karma sannyasa purvagat atma jnana nishtha matrat eva kevalat kaivalyam na prapyate. Eva kim tarhi agnihotradi sraudat smartha karma sahidat jnanat kaivalya praptihi idi sarvasu gidasu nischitaha arthaha iti. So here Anandagiri introduces this Purvapaksha. Sarva karma sannyasa purvagat atma jnanat eva kevalat kaivalya praptihi idi Gita shastrarthaha swabhiprede vyakhyata. So Bhashyakara has already established the central theme of Bhagavad Gita, that is Sarva Karma Sannyasa Purvagat Atmajnanat Kevalat Kaivalya Prapti. The ultimate liberation is possible. Kaivalyam or moksha is possible only through Atmajnana, which should be preceded by Sarva Karma Sannyasa. This is clearly established by Bhashyada. Sampradi Vrittikridam Abhipredam Nirasidam Anuvadati Tatra Iti. After this, the Bhashyagara is now explaining the view of Jnana Karma Samuccayavadins. So he has used the word Vrittikridam. So according to many scholars, this is a reference to Bodhayana Vritti. But a large number of scholars do not agree to this view, because Bodhayana's Vritti is somewhat some kind of a prelude to Ramanuja's Vishishtadvaitavada. And of course, he is also the author of a commentary on the Brahma Sutras. And according to some scholars, this is a reference to Bodhayana Vritti on Brahma Sutras themselves. But in Shankaracharya's commentary, no basis or evidence is available to prove that this Vrittigara was a Vishishtadvaiti. That means a follower of qualified monism. Just because the Vrittigara had stated that a blending of karma and jnana enables one to attain liberation, we cannot infer from that one reason alone that he must be a Vishishtadvaiti. So Mandana Misra is another one, is the author of Brahma Siddhi. He is an Advaitin, but he also in a way accepted a blending of jnana and karma for liberation. As I mentioned earlier, the most prominent among them was Bhartu Prapancha, who was a champion of this theory of blending jnana and karma, and who is refuted by Shankaracharya himself. So anyway, this is a controversial matter. Now, to understand the Advaitin's position and to get a clear picture of how the Bhashyagara refutes the views of Jnana Karma Samuccayavadins, we have to get a clear understanding of these three philosophers who tried to establish the view that the central theme of Bhagavad Gita is Jnana Karma Samuccayavada. First of all, what is Jnana Karma Samuccayavada? The doctrine or the theory that liberation is possible only by blending Atmajnanam and ritualistic practices like Yajna, Yaga, etc. According to them, just Sravana, Manana, Nididhyasana of Mahavakyas will not take us to the highest liberation. That's the view of Jnana Karma Samuccayavadins. Atmajnana should be accompanied by the practice of different vidyas, upasanas, methods, which are described in the Upanishads. So ritualistic practices should continue as long as we live. This is the view of Mimamsakas. As I mentioned earlier, this is a view that stands somewhere halfway between Mimamsakas and Advaitins. Sureshwaracharya in his Naishkarmi Siddhi has refuted their views by establishing that Atmajnana alone can take us to the highest liberation. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the three philosophers are Bhartu Prapancha, Brahmadatta and Mandana. Of course, there are slight differences in their views. We get a clear understanding of their philosophical ideas only from Shankaracharya's work. Brahmadatta was some kind of an Advaiti, and he also supported this Jnana Karma Samuccaya Marga. He says that even after getting Atmajnana, a mumukshu, he doesn't become a mukta, a mumukhu, he is still a mumukshu, he should practice dhyana abhyasa, which is called prasankhyana. So often this is called prasankhyana vada. And these dhyana methods are explained in the Upanishads. For example, he says, Atma itteva upasida. Now, in this Mahavakya, the central theme is dhyana. Mahavakyas like Tattwamasi have only secondary meaning according to Brahmadatta. So we must listen, we must understand, we must get a Shastrartham of Mahavakyas like Tattwamasi, and then we must practice Dhyana Abhyasa, meditating on the meaning of great Upanishadic statements like Atma itteva upasida. We must meditate on the fact that Atman is residing in our Hridaya Guha. This was his view. So he again quotes Devo Bhutva Devan Apyeti, and this is the quotation that he gives again and again. So you listen to Mahavakya and you are convinced of the truth of Advaita, but still that doesn't take you to the highest realization. You should continue this dhyana abhyasa. So Devo Bhutva Devan Apyeti. So through this meditative practices, gradually we must realize the truth. And this realization comes only at the time of death. In other words, these Jnana Karma Samuccayavadins are totally opposed to the classical concept of Jivan Mukti as mentioned among the Advaitins in Advaita tradition. A much more important thinker, philosopher in this line was Bhaktir Prapancha, whose philosophy is sometimes called Brahma Parinamavada. So he believed that the ultimate goal is Jnana Karma Samuccaya. So he believed in a combination or synthesis of Bheda and Abheda. He says Brahman is Eka, is one, but it is also Aneka. So he gives the example of ocean. So if you take ocean as a whole, as a samashti, it is one. But in the ocean you find waves, foams, and many other different formations of the water, which appear to be, for the time being, to be different from the water that remains still in a state of tranquility. So a huge mighty wave may for a moment appear to be different from the ocean itself. Like that, you call a tree. As a tree it is one, but then the tree has got many things in it. Branches, leaves, fruits, and so on. So, ekattum and nanattum, anegattum. Bheda and abheda, both are real according to Bhakti Prapancha. And this is the Brahman evolves, it's called Brahma Parinamavada, and becomes Jiva as Antaryami, and this Virat Prapancha as Avyakrita, and also becomes Pinda. So Bhashyakara himself says, trying to explain Bhakti Prapancha's view, ननु अनेकात्मकं ब्रह्म यथा अनेक शाखा वृक्षः एवं अनेक शक्ति प्रवृत्ति युक्तं ब्रह्म. This is how Shankaracharya himself tries to sum up Bhakta Prabhu's view. Anekatmakam Brahma. Brahma is Eka and Aneka. Ekam Anekatmakam Brahma. Aneka Shakha Vriksha. So Vriksha is one, but it has got many branches, many leaves, many fruits. Evam Aneka Shakti Prayuktam, Aneka Shakti Pravrutti Yuktam Brahma. This is the view of Bhakta Prabhu. Another philosopher in this line was Mandana. According to some scholars, this was a Mandana who later became Sureshwara. Anyway, this is a debatable question. We are not entering that subject, because if the same Mandana became Sureshwara, then Sureshwara later wrote Nashkarma Siddhi, in which he refused the views of Mandana. Anyway, so the whole point is these three great philosophers believed in the central view that ultimate liberation is possible only through Jnana Karma Samuchaya. I mean, the central theme of Gita is Jnana Karma Samuchaya. So, Bhashyagara is continuing his discussion. Jnapakam cha ahu asya arthasya atha chetam imam dharmyam sangramam na karishyasi. Bhashyagara says, these Jnana Karma Samuchayavadins, they quote this pramana vakyam from Gita itself. Jnapakam cha ahu asya arthasya atha chetam imam dharmyam sangramam na karishyasi. So Bhashyagara says these Jnana Karma Samuchayavadins, to project their false conclusion, quote a verse from Gita itself, that is from the 2nd chapter, 23rd verse. Atha chetum imam dharmyam sangramam na karishyasi tata swadharmam kirtim cha hitva papam avapsyasi. Lord Krishna tells Arjuna in this verse, if you run away from this righteous duty, that is to fight for dharma, to protect the poor, the weak, the good people from evil men, from those who practice adharma. If you do not defend dharma, if you do not act in defense of dharma, and if you shun your duties and responsibilities, running away from your responsibilities and duties and swadharma, then your reputation will be shattered and you will accumulate sin. It is a sinful thing, a sinful act to run away from one's own righteous duties and responsibilities. This is what they quote. And karmanneva adhigaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. So te adhigara karmani eva. Apparently, one may imagine that these views support Jnana Karma Samuchaya, or it supports the view that karma should be continued throughout one's life. So these are the verses they quote. Again, kuru karmaiva tasmatvam, therefore you should act, you should continue doing your duties and responsibilities ityadi. These are some of the pramana vakyas that Jnana Karma Samuchayavadins quote from Gita itself. Again, they are giving other false reasons for their view that karma should continue. One must continue ritualistic practices even after getting Atma Jnana. Himsadi yuktatva vaitikam karma adharmaya iti iyamapi ashankana karya. Katham kshatram karma yuddha lakshanam guru bhratru putradi himsa lakshanam atyanta kruram api swadharma iti krutva na adharmaya. Here is a reference to Manu's statement. Nahim siyat sarva bhutani. So there is a statement in Manu Smriti. One should not kill or do harm to any of living beings. So people may perhaps quote this Manusmriti Vakyam and tried to criticize the Jnana Karma Samuchayavadis on the basis of the fact that ritualistic karmas like Somayaga, Nishtama, or Vajrapeya, or Ashwamedha, Apturyama, any of the Saptahaviri Yajnas will involve himsa, violence to animals, animal sacrifices. Therefore, atharmaya iti. Therefore, it may lead to atharma. So, these are some of the possible reasons that people may raise against Jnana Karma Samuchayavadins. They themselves argue. So, Bhashyakara is here projecting some of the arguments that Jnana Karma Samuchayavadins used to defend their view. And after projecting their arguments, Bhashyakara will refute them in the light of Advaita. Iyamapi ashankana karya katham kshatram karma yuddha lakshanam guru bhratra putradi himsa lakshanam atyanta kruramapi swadharma iti krutva na dharmaya. Though yajnas, yagas and ritualistic practices, vaidya karmas may involve himsa, still it will not lead to atharma because kshatram karma yuddha lakshanam, Arjuna was a kshatriya. And Kshatra Karma is Yuddha Lakshanam. It is Kshatriya, Yuddhe Chapi Apalayanam. Kshatriya is supposed to defend Dharma, the weak, the poor, the women folk, against oppressors. That's their sacred duty and responsibility. If they do not do their sacred duty, then it will be Atharma. Therefore, it may not be Atharma. Tad agaranecha tata swadharmam kirtincha hitva papam avapsisi. Not only that, if a kshatriya runs away, if he avoids the performance of his righteous duties and responsibilities, then what happens? He will lose his reputation and he will accumulate sin. It will be a sinful thing to run away from one's own righteous duties and responsibilities. We should remember these are all arguments that the followers of Jnana Karma Samuchayavada are raising in defense of their view. Iti bruvada yavat jivadi sruti chodidanam paschadi himsa lakshananam cha karmanam prak eva na dharmattum iti sunishchidam uktam bhavati iti. So they quote all these verses. What are the verses? Yavat jivadi sruti chodidanam. So yavat jivam karma kutriyas. There are many injunctions in the Karma Kanda literature which says that we must continue the practice of rituals, Vedic sacrifices, as long as we live. We have no right to stop doing or performing Vedic karmas, duties and responsibilities. So they should continue so long as we live. So Pashwadi himsa lakshananam cha karmanam prageva na dharmattum iti sunishchitam uktam bhavati. So they quote all these Sruti-vakyas, and they say in performing all these rituals there is absolutely no adharma. This is the view of Purva-pakshins or Jnana Karma Samuchayavadins. In a way you can find a reflection of a blind pursuit of the cult of action, efficiency, success, all in pursuit of material enjoyment. That is what you find reflected in their views. That means the essence of human life is action. And even if we reach the highest spiritual realization, we have no right to stop our pursuit of success and material comforts, which are after all the goal of these Vaidya karmas. Now Bhashyakara is trying to give samadhanam, the Siddhanta Paksha. He is refuting the views of Jnana Karma Samuchayavadis. Tat asat. This is not correct. This view is not correct. Jnana Karma Nishthayoh Vibhagavajanat Buddhidvayasrayoh. So Bhashyakara is giving a very strong argument while refuting the Jnana Karma Samuchayavadins. Jnana Karma Samuchayavadins argue that Jnana and Karma should continue together at the same time by the same person. That's their view. But Bhashyakara says Lord Krishna himself draws a clear line of demarcation between those who are fit for Jnana-nishtha and those who are fit for Karma-nishtha. He himself makes it very clear. Jnana-nishtha and Karma-nishtha are totally different in their application because they are meant for two different levels of spiritual evolution. People who belong to two different levels of spiritual evolution. Karma-nishtha is meant for those who have not reached the stage of Chitta Shuddhi and therefore who have not attained fitness for the practice of Jnana-nishtha. Just as for example, students studying the kindergarten or primary school, they are fit for studying those books, preliminary books meant for students in the early stage of their education, kindergarten or primary school. They are not expected or supposed to study books prescribed for PhD scholars. The same student may, after 25 years, become fit for studying those books which are prescribed for PhD students. But they cannot read both these books together at the same time. The same person may begin his spiritual life with rituals, just as children start their education in the kindergarten or primary school. And after several years of education, they may get admission to university. Similarly, a spiritual seeker may begin his spiritual life by practicing karma, sakama karma, and then nishkama karma, and then karma-nishtha. And after several years, decades of this practice, he may attain Chitta Shuddhi or mental purity, and then he may become fit for the practice of Jnana-nishtha, not before that. But Jnana Karma Samuchayavadins say both Jnana-nishtha and Karma-nishtha should go together. So Bhashyakara is trying to show how ridiculous their views are. So in defense of his view, Bhashyakara quotes a very important pramana, sloka from Gita itself. Lord Krishna himself says in the 3rd chapter, 3rd verse, Lokesmin dividhanishta pura prokta maya anakha jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. Right from the beginning of existence and creation, I have taught these two parts, Sankhya Buddhi and Yoga Buddhi. Sankhya, that is Jnana-nishtha and Karma-nishtha. Two different types of spiritual seekers. For those who are yogis, those who have got Yoga Buddhi, we will explain what is meant by Yoga Buddhi. I have taught Karma-nishtha, Karma Yoga, and those who are more highly evolved, I have prescribed Jnana-nishtha for them. I have not prescribed a combination of both. This is a very strong argument in defense of Advaita view. So, Bhashyakara says, Tad asat jnana karma nishthayoh vibhaga vajanat. So, this is the vibhaga vachana. Mean I have taught these two parts. One part, Jnananishta, for those who are advanced, who have attained Chitta Shuddhi. After long practice of Karmanishta, they have attained Chitta Shuddhi. They have got Sankhya Buddhi. Sankhya Buddhi will explain. For them I have prescribed Jnananishta. For those who have not attained Chitta Shuddhi, I have prescribed Karmanishta. Here we should remember the meaning of this Sankhya Buddhi. So, Samyak Khyayate Atma iti Sankhya. This is the real meaning of Sankhya. Means a path, a spiritual path from which we get a clear experience, knowledge of Atma Jnana. I mean something that gives us Atma Jnanam. That is the meaning of Sankhya. It's Jnananishta. It has nothing at all to do with the Sankhya philosophy of Kapila or the Sankhya Karika written by Ishvara Krishna. So this should be kept clearly in mind. Sankhya here has nothing at all to do with Kapila's Sankhya philosophy or Ishvara Krishna's views in the Sankhya Karika. It means Samyak Khyayate Atma iti, Samyak Khyayate Jnayate Atma iti Sankhya. And yoga, the word yoga also is used with a definite meaning. Yoga has nothing to do with Patanjali's Yoga Shastra. What it means is Karmanishta or Nishkama Karma, which will take us to Chitta Shuddhi. That is the meaning of yoga here. Ashocyan ityadina bhagavada yavat swadharmamavi chavekshya ityetadantena granthena yet paramarthatmatattu nirupanam kridam tat sankhya. What is sankhya? So you find from the 11th verse of 2nd chapter, Ashocyan nusojastam prajna vadam subhashase gadasu na gadasum na anushochanti panditaha. See 11th verse of 2nd chapter. From that verse up to Swadharmam Avichaveksha Nevigambidumarkadi. That is 31st mantra of 2nd chapter. So these verses, roughly around 20 verses, constitute a brief description of Sankhya Buddhi, or it is called Jnananishta. So what is the Jnananishta? Paramatma, that Paramatma Tattva Nirupanam. That means it is an exposition of the highest Advaita philosophy. It is an exposition of Atma Tattva. That's what is meant by Sankhya here. Tat Sankhyam, Tat Vishya Buddhi, Sankhya Buddhi. So a Buddhi, an intellect or a temperament which will help us to understand this Paramathatma Tattva Nirupanam is Sankhya Buddhi. And what is that? Atmanaha Janmadi Sadvikriya Bhavat Akarta Atma iti. So Atma is Sadvikaratita. Jayade Asti Vardhade Viparinamade Apakshyede Vinashyati. These are 6 changes. It's called Vikriya, means Vikara. Everything in this world, whether a most insignificant insect, and also this whole universe, which may exist for billions of years, all these are subject to changes. They don't remain the same in the past, present and future. Birth itself is a transition from a state of non-existence into state of existence at the empirical level. Then existing and then growing, evolving, decaying, disappearing or death, and then being reborn. All these are changes. These are vikriyas or vikaras. Atma is not subjected to any of these changes. So, a Sankhya Buddhi symbolizes this higher wisdom to realize, to understand the fact that Atma is Sarvikaratita. It transcends six changes. And not only that, Atma is Akarta, Abhokta. So, Atma is Dehendriyadi Vidirikta. It is something that's beyond body, mind, senses, etc. And Atma is Sarvikaratita. It remains the same in the past, present and future without any changes. Atma is Trikara Abhadhita. It remains the same in the Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti states, in the waking, dream and deep sleep states. In the waking state, we see objects at the gross level with the help of mind and the five senses of perception. In dream state, we project all these experiences at the mental level without any involvement of the five senses of perception. And in Sushupti state, we are not able to see any, experience any of these objects, though awareness, Atma, is still present. So there is a difference in our experience in waking state, dream state and deep sleep states, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti avasthas. So also, things don't remain the same throughout. Everything in this universe changes. Maybe the whole universe may remain the same maybe for some billions of years and then become different, undergo changes. Maybe an insect may undergo changes in much less time. So everything is subject to changes. Anything that is subject to the change, any of the vikaras or vikriyas, cannot be eternal. Atma is the only reality that remains unchanging, eternal, immortal, without any change in the past, present and future. And Atma is Akarta. All action, all involvement, doership is at the Antakarana level, at the Indriya level, not Atma level. Atma is not involved in any of these things. And Atma is Abhokta. Atma is neither enjoyer nor doer. Iti prakaranartha nirupanat ya jayade sa sankhya buddhi. So that buddhi, sankhya buddhi, which enables us to understand the Sarvikara Atitatvam, Avasthatraya Abhaditatvam, Trigara Abhaditatvam of Atma. The Atma remains unchanging in the past, present and future. In all states of experiences, Atma is the same. So a person gets this Sankhya Buddhi when he attains Chitta Shuddhi, which again is not possible unless we practice Niskama Karma for a long time. And the stage of practicing that Niskama Karma is called Sankhya, is Yoga state. That is called Yoga Nishtha. So Niskama Karma Nishtha is Yoga Nishtha. That's an important point, remember. Edasyaha Prak, before we reach this state of Sankhya Buddhi, of what called Paramarthatma Tattva Nirupanam, a proper understanding of Atma, before we reach this Jnana Nishtha, there is one state. Edasyaha Buddhe Janmana Prak, Atmanaha Dehadi Vidiriktatva Kartrutva Bhoktrutva Apeksha Dharma Dharma Viveka Purvako Moksha Sadhananusthana Nirupana Lakshano Yoga Tad Vishya Buddhi Yoga Buddhi. What is Yoga Buddhi is being explained here. So Bhashyakara has already explained what is Sankhya Buddhi. Now Yoga Buddhi is explained. Before the emergence of Sankhya Buddhi, before the emergence of Jnana Nishtha, there is one state. At that state, we realize from scriptures, we understand from scriptures by discussing through Sravana and Manana, we understand that Atma is Dehadi Vediriktam. That means from the Upanishad statements, we understand that Atma is something beyond Deha, Indriya, etc. But then we are not realized the Akartrutum and Abhoktrutum of Atma. We are not fully realized. At that state, we must have dharma viveka purva. We must practice dharma. We must desist from doing anything which is adharma. So, holding fast the principles of dharma and practicing our karmas, duties and responsibilities as an offering to God without attachment, without obsessive attachment to the results of our actions, but without any kind of indifference. So, the Nishkama Karma Anushtanam, the practice of duties and responsibilities without any attachment to the result, doesn't mean that we should be indifferent to the result. Because Lord Krishna himself is going to tell you, Saktaha karmani avidvam so yatha kurvanti bharata kuryat vidvan tha asaktaha chigishu loka sangraham. What is the characteristic of a karma yogi or a person who practices karma yoga nishtha? Such a person will...
When is this super shadow has come up?
A person who is practicing karma yoga nishtha will be a person of great shraddha, enthusiasm, efficiency. He will have the same efficiency, the same enthusiasm, the same shraddha, the same organization skill as a person who is doing everything with a great desire. But at the same time, he will be totally detached. So an average person who is not practicing karma yoga will be doing everything with great efficiency and enthusiasm, but he will be terribly obsessed by the result. He will be always thinking of the result. He is not because he is not able to understand the dynamics of karma yoga. So saktaha karmani avidvamsaha. Mean those who do not know the meaning of karma yoga, they karmani saktaha. They are always attached to karma and karma phala. As a result, a lot of anxiety, neurosis, depression, disappointment, sleeping pills and so on. Now, a karma yogi combines the efficiency of such a person, but he at the same time is fully detached. He remains in a state of non-attachment to the result, which enables him to continue his work, performance of duties and responsibilities with great efficiency, minus the problems of efficiency. Normally, when we do work with great attachment and enthusiasm, it creates a lot of anxiety. But a karma yogi is able to practice a combination of efficiency of an ordinary person of action and the contemplative spirit of a great saint or sage. So, combination of action and contemplation. That's the essence of karma yoga nishtha. For that, he should read scriptures. For that, he should think of the meaning of scriptures and also try to practice niskama karma. And in his interaction with others, he must practice proper discerning mind, proper discriminative faculty. Discriminative faculty means a discerning mind. So, Bhagavad Purana in the Niminava Yogi Samvada outlines this view. Ishvare tad adhineshu varisheshu disutsucha prema maitri kripa upeksha yak karodi samadhyamaha. So such a person who is still evolving, he should be devoted to God, he should be friendly with other spiritual seekers, and he he should be sympathetic towards those who are spiritually inclined but may not be well informed about it, and he should be totally indifferent and keep a long distance from those whose association may create conflicts in his mind. That's why dharma viveka purvako moksha sadhananusthana nirupana lakshano yoga tad vishya buddhi yoga buddhi sa yesham karmenam uchida bhavati te yoginaha तथा च भगवदा विभक्ते द्वे बुद्धि निर्दिष्टे एषा ते अभिहिता सांख्ये बुद्धि योगे तु इमाम शृणु. Now Bhashyakara quotes another very important verse. In another context, there is a important verse in the Gita where the Lord makes a very clear statement. He says, I have already taught you this Sankhya Buddhi. Now I am going to teach you Yoga Buddhi. Which itself shows Vibhagavachanam. Which itself shows that Sankhya Buddhi is meant for one group of spiritual seekers and Yoga Buddhi is meant for another group of spiritual seekers. The same person cannot practice a combination of both at the same time. It's a clear refutation of Jnana Karma Samuccayavada. So, in defense of this view, Bhashyakara quotes, Esha te abhida sankhe buddhir yoge imam shrunu buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. It comes in the second chapter, 39th verse. Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, I have now finished my discussion, my instruction on Sankhya Buddhi. Now I am going to teach you Yoga Buddhi, which means there is a clear demarcation, a line of demarcation, a differentiation between Karmanistha and Jnananistha. Karmanistha meant for spiritual seekers at the early stage of evolution. Jnananistha meant for those who are more evolved, who have reached Chitta Shuddhi. तथा च योग बुद्धिया श्रयाम कर्म योगेन निष्ठाम विभक्ताम वक्ष्यति कर्म योगेन योगिनाम. So already we have discussed that means lokesmin vividha nishtha pura prokta mayanakha jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam iti. एवं सांख्य बुद्धिम योग बुद्धिम च आश्रित्य द्वे निष्ठे विभक्ते भगवदा एव उक्ते ज्ञान कर्मणोः कर्तृत्व अकर्तृत्व एकत्व अनेकत्व बुद्ध्याश्रयोः एक पुरुषाश्रयत्व असंभवं पश्यता. Bhashyakara says, now we have clearly seen these two nishthas, jnana nishtha and karma nishtha, are meant for two types of persons and cannot be practiced by the same person at the same time. The same person may practice karmanistha for many years and later when he is more evolved, he may become fit for practicing jnananistha after attaining chitta shuddhi, but he cannot practice the two paths together at the same time. We will continue the discussion in the next session. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Pranamastu.